cross 110, we was crossing though. But we ain't in a rocket crosses, no. Lion head all on us, no Versace though. The feds all on YouTube say they watching homes. For the locals, it's a car, a Mexican. His shoe heritage is Israelite like Ephraim. Asher, all in Cuba like the Bay of Pigs. But we know eat no swine, don't put that on my dish. This whole world like the Matrix, what you think this is? Got my people so confused like Confucius is. On the news, they won't tell you who you truly is. Changing history, fabricating reconcile. Double cross, my people, we've been double crossed. Deceive, no surprise, lies to us all.
No, but this is the thing, King. Look, let me highlight you right quick. We really not the minority. Because look, this makes up our nation. 12 tribes. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We really the majority. But because we broke the laws of the Most High, we've been scattered for a reproach into all nations. Right? And we let them play us like we the minority. But they know that we the majority, King. You follow what I'm saying? So we out here to tell our people, if your father descend from one of these tribes, your father's side, so-called black man, so you will be an Israelite, King. God's chosen people, King. The cream of the crop, not the sticky on the bottom of the barrel, King.
Right.
And we got to return to our heritage. But how can we return to our heritage? What's your name, King? Shakur. How can we return to our heritage if we don't know our heritage, right? It's kind of like a mystery out here. Right? You got it, King? Bring it out.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
No, be separate.
Gather together, O nation not desired.
No, continue to beef with each other.
Gather together, O nation not desired.
No, Bloods versus Crips versus Folks versus everything, right?
Gather together, O nation not desired.
See, we got to gather together in these end days, right? That's why we out here speaking the words of life to our people. These words of life will bring us back under the bond of the covenant of the Most High God. And we got to get away from all them false religions, these false ideologies, these false sciences, these pagan holidays, King Shakur. We got to get away from that. We got to get away from the ways of the so-called white man, get back to our heritage. Get away from the ways of the so-called Chinese man and get back to our heritage. Huh?
That's right.
That's what we got to do.
That's right.
Back to our language. Back to our culture. Let me get that prologue of Sirach. The words have no power in Hebrew.
I understand all that. You feel me? I mean, it's spiritual. It's really a spiritual war, but like
It definitely is.
For real, to be out here though, you know, you gonna have to move in a way like, you feel what I'm saying? Because like America is a corporation, so it's a business. You feel what I'm saying? They a business. Like America is a corporation business, so all they care about is money. They don't care about your life, none of that type shit. You feel me?
True indeed.
So you feel what I'm
Got
saying?
it?
I understand, and I know that we the original black man. We scattered all over the earth. You feel what I'm saying?
Definitely. We did. And this is the thing, though, King Shakur, is this. It's like, when it comes to it, though, right? We know that the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. It teaches that in Job, the 9th chapter. So we know the so-called white man who running the earth and all these other nations, we know that they set up on wickedness. They want us to transgress the laws of the Most High.
That's right.
But guess what? We can't start doing the things that they do just because they system set up. Because if we all got back to keeping the laws of the Most High, it'd break their system in half. Easy.
All the way.
Easy. Hey, if we all kept the Sabbath, King Shakur, and we didn't buy and sell on that 7th day, then the economy would crash.
Let that dollar only got value. That dollar only got value because of what we get to.
True indeed. Say that again, King.
If we don't get value to that dollar, then that's when they economy, they want to jump off roofs and
True
shit.
indeed.
Like,
That kind of sign they call it.
commit suicide.
True indeed. True
Because
indeed.
you fucking with their money now.
Definitely.
Just like, I don't know if niggas noticed, like, they talking about Neil Armstrong went on the moon.
He ain't go to no moon.
But how he go to the moon when he put the motherfucking flag in the motherfucking moon?
And it's blowing.
Feel that bitch blowing.
Ain't no wind in the
I'm like,
moon.
man, now if you believe something like that, like, you the damn fool.
What you holding, King?
Prologue is all right.
All right, look. Listen to this right quick. Hey, sis, it's all at you when you come out. Go ahead.
Wherefore let me entreat you
Uh-huh.
to read it with favor and attention,
Uh-huh.
and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words,
Read on.
which we have labored to interpret.
Uh-huh.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew,
And what?
in Hebrew,
And what?
in Hebrew,
Uh-huh.
and translated into another tongue, have not the same force in them.
You see that? So that's why even we get back to our native tongue, speaking in Hebrew, King.
In Hebrew, so do they call it Elohim?
No, Elohim just means powers, or Elohim,
Elohim.
right? We go back to Yahweh is the name of the Most High.
Yahweh.
No, Yahweh. Yahweh is Yiddish. That's Hebrew and German mixed. That's what the fake Jews speak, right? We go back to the Paleo, Yahweh.
That's right.
You get that? Yahweh. You follow what I'm saying? And so when we go back, like when we read the scriptures, we know that right now it's translated into English. Because it said, hey, with stammering lips in another tongue where the Most High speak to his people. Let me get that in Isaiah 28. You can drop that. You hold that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we know that right now we in the land of our captivity, right? And we know in this land they speak English. So you know the Most High ain't gonna make us wing it. He gonna deliver it to us in the language, another tongue in our captivity, so that we can study and get the sense of the scriptures like they did in the time of Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just a million plus the purpose of the evil.
True indeed, and that's even biblical, King. It say, hey, in the curses of Deuteronomy, a land that we be scattered into a land that we know of not, right? Land represented by the eagle. And what's their symbol in America?
The bird.
The damn eagle.
With the bow and arrows in one hand.
Come.
And some other
What they
stuff
say,
in
the
other hand,
pluribus-
and the all-seeing eyes.
E pluribus unum, you know what I'm saying? From many can one. How you doing, King? You know you Israelite, King?
Most definitely.
All right, you know you gotta repent, keep the commandments, King? All right, let us get this flyer to you, King. You know what I'm saying? So you can stay connected.
I'm on the move.
Hey, we on the move with you, Elder.
Right here.
You know? But yeah, so from that standpoint, that's why we get back to speaking our Hebrew. Because words, when they uttered in Hebrew, they got more power in them, right? Like when somebody say Jesus, we know that ain't his real name. You follow me? We know that his name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. You feel what I'm saying? He delivers, right? So we get back to the Hebrew. We know that when we read in the Hebrew, we say Kodash, which means holy, right? We know that we get back to the power, the full power of the word, and the full understanding of the word. Because certain words that you might say in English, when you look up and when you read these precepts and you study and you go into the Hebrew, you get more understanding of the word. So you get more understanding of the laws and the statutes and the commandments. And then the things that govern us as a nation, Shakur. What you got, King? You had a question, King?
No, like, I also believe,
Uh-huh.
like the Bible was used to enslave us anyway. Like,
Uh-huh.
you feel what I'm saying? Like, 'cause you got...
Let me hear you out.
You got stuff that say translation, King James version translation. So when you say translation, that means something been taken out and something been put on there. That's why, like, I read the Bible and then it'll hit you with, like, the genealogy of these people.
Uh-huh.
But then it skip a whole generation or century. It hit you with, then Cain killed Abel. Then you be like, well, how you get from here
Let me address
to
something.
here?
I'm gonna walk with you. So this is the thing is,
So-
the Bible wasn't changed. What people got to realize is King James was the king of England, of Scotland, right? And of Wales at the same time. I mean, England, Scotland, and Ireland, right? He was from the line of the Stuarts, a so-called black man. He didn't write the Bible. All he did was authorize the translation from Greek and Hebrew from Latin and Hebrew into English.
But
Into English.
some things been taken off and some things been put into that Bible though. Cause like you read about Jesus, like everybody out here, you know, feeling like Jesus is God and they expecting everything to fall from the earth. I mean,
Let
from
me
the
hear you
sky
out, okay?
into their hand. You know what I'm saying? And they know that, like, you know, Jesus is just a prophet because every time he came around somebody, like, you know what I'm saying, and they needed a blessing, you know what I'm saying, he always asked permission to God, though, like, you know what I'm saying, like,
Brother got a little knowledge on it. Let's get it in the right correspondence, though.
He come to God. So
Go ahead, King.
When he come to God, that's just like me, no disrespecting that, though, like, you know, like, that's like me going to the dope, man, with your money, trying to get a deal, you know what I'm saying, off the middleman. And like I feel like I don't need no middleman to get to God. I feel like I can get to
You got
God
it?
straight
Get
to
it?
the source.
Uh-huh.
I could go straight to the source if that's the thing, because why am I about to keep on asking for forgiveness? Hey, big dog.
You dropped your card, King.
Why I'm gonna keep on asking for?
Hold on, you dropped this flyer too. Get the King a flyer.
Why I'm gonna keep on asking for forgiveness of my sins and keep on putting it on this man Jesus, like, and then I feel like I'm clean.
All right, let me address a couple things though, right? Because you saying some powerful things, but let's bring them into the understanding, right? So in terms of things being taken out of the Bible, right, and things being added, things weren't added, right? Now we do know that some things were taken out as far as the 14 books. You got the Apocrypha, which look, come here, King Shakur. Let me show you right here. So this is the original King James, the translation of the 1611, right? When he had it translated from the Latin and the Hebrew into English. So there was 14 books called Apocrypha. The Apocrypha literally means to hide away. So those 14 books were in the original because we know that there was the Septuagint, there was the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Texas Receptus, there's the Masoretic text, the Water King. So there's these various So you see the Apocrypha was already inside of the Bible, the original King James translation. But in the 1400s, you see that? So you got the so-called Old Testament, you got the so-called New Testament, you got the Apocrypha. But you got to realize, King Shakur, that in terms of when we go into the archaic times, when everything was just scrolls, it wasn't no so-called New Testament, wasn't no so-called Old Testament, it's just scrolls. You follow what I'm saying?
Translated out of the original tongue with the formal translation.
You see that? So all he did is translate it and compiled the translations. So we got all of the original books. It's all canon right here. You follow what I'm saying?
I know, but like they tell you they sacrificed Jesus on the cross. That thing ain't called a cross. It's called something else. I don't know the pronunciation.
But this is the thing is though, it's like this, is that at the end of the day, we know that he died for our sins though. You follow what I'm saying? Because even if when you get
a lot
into
of people died for our sins.
No, they didn't.
Because Martin Luther King to me, he was like a sacrifice to make way for the things of today.
See,
just
this
like
is
Jesus made way for spirituality. He said, "I'm the truth, the light, and the way, the truth, and the life." When he said, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life,"
Go ahead, deal with it,
he's showing you how to
let him finish.
he's showing you how to get to God, like how what to do and how to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what Martin Luther King is doing. He's showing us.
No, Martin Luther King opened up a way, like, you feel what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for Martin Luther King and these people, we'd probably still be getting oppressed. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be opening up and turning over how it's turning over, how I'm recognizing in the world. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
hold that thought right there, Shakur, because we want to deal with point for point, King. Not to cut you off, but just because you said some powerful things, King, and we want to deal with them. You got it, King.
We know that we are still oppressed, right? You know what I mean? We still the last hire, first fire, still getting gunned down in the streets, right? But do you know that Martin Luther King himself, a week before he died, said he feels like he's integrating his people into a burning house. So he didn't even like what he did as far as integrating us into the man's system.
But
now watch this real fast, though. Because if you go and watch his last speech that he made, the mountaintop speech, right? He's telling our people that we're God's chosen people, what we're telling you right now, and that we're going to be back in that promised land, but we have to keep these laws to get out of it. Or else we're going to die by the hand of these so-called white people until that time. So he even knew the power of Christ and who the world calls Christ, right? Because that's not his real name, Jesus Christ, what the brother's trying to tell you.
Christ Messiah, this just mean chosen.
It means Messiah, but with that though, he has a Hebrew name, an actual name, right? Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, right? And they put their different names on it because it was translated in Greek first, you see what I'm saying? So that's when you'll get this whole rendition of what we're trying to tell you right now, which is that this wasn't rewritten, it was just retranslated.
It was retranslated.
Because you speak English, right?
Yeah, but that ain't my original language.
You're right. But right now you're speaking English, correct?
For sure.
So the Most High God had to make it so that you can understand His words till this day. That's how you do it.
Because I was already here, I feel
Beautiful
like...
breakdown.
That mountaintop speech.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, bring it out,
The
King.
brother said that his last speech was the mountaintop speech telling us we are the children of Israel, right? So he gave that speech April 3rd, 1968, right? Let me show you this.
As long as he
He was
assassinated.
killed April 4th,
A day
1968.
later.
So as soon as he was telling our people what we're telling you now, he was killed the next day. So just kind of wrap your mind around that.
He was, even though he was killed, though, you feel what I'm saying? He still opened up something. Like, if I feel like if it wasn't for him,
Oh, we
you know what I'm
hear
saying?
you
I
out.
feel
Go
like
ahead, King.
because Jesus was a sacrifice in order for something to be fulfilled.
Okay, let's stop right there.
In order for something
Okay,
to be
hold on.
fulfilled.
We get it. Let's stop right there, right? You got it? You got it? Because this is the difference, though. It's a difference between a sacrifice to fulfill a covenant by the Most High versus just one of our. Now, we're not negating none of our brothers who were so-called martyrs. You follow what I'm saying? Rest in peace to them brothers. Martin Luther King,
right.
Malcolm
Malcolm
X.
X, all
None
that.
of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not negating none of that.
Right.
Shalom, King. How you doing, brother? You all right? Let's holler at you when you come out, brother. Just 1 minute. I know you're in a rush. So from that standpoint is that it's a difference between a blood sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Christ, to fulfill a covenant for his people, the children of Israel, right? Versus Martin Luther King died. He didn't die to fulfill a prophecy and a covenant for his people. You see what I'm saying?
What did he die for?
He died because he told the truth.
He died
He was
for,
too big when he told the truth.
so he wasn't for his people.
No, he was.
He was
in the
for his
end.
people. So if he was,
Hold on, real fast.
That's
Let
just
me
like-
answer you real fast,
Okay.
because he was for his people in the end.
right.
In the beginning, he's not knowing that he was integrating his people into something that was going to destroy them ultimately. He ended up getting that revelation towards the end of his life. And that's why he said, that's why he said, I feel like I'm integrating my people into a burning building. You see what I'm saying? That's the words of Martin Luther King himself. You can go see what what's the name said about
You know what all of them had in common?
What's that?
They all was human, right? So when Judas sold Jesus out for them coins, right? But before that though, and Jesus told his apostles, like, hold on, I'm about to go up here to this hill, and y'all stay right here. So he went up there. He went to go talk to God. As I read in that Bible, he went up there to talk to God. Hold on, bro. He went up there to talk to God. So if he going there to talk to God, like, I mean, just my opinion, me being a human and me knowing human emotion a little bit, like, it's gonna be like, damn, I'm about to go up here to God. I'm about to go up here to God because I know I'm about to die. I'm predicting my death already. You feel what I'm saying?
Hold on, this is the thing, okay? He didn't have to predict his death because it was already written in the scriptures. It was already prophesied, King.
But I'm saying if it was, but if it was already, if it was already prophesied.
And hold on, King Shakur, let's prove it though. Let me get what you holding right quick to address that. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5.
Bring it up.
For there is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
So there's one God, Yahweh, the Most High, and there's one mediator. Huh? Yeah, you go next, King. And there's one mediator. He got two more precepts, right? Yahweh Shai is that mediator. That's the difference because, see, it's always been proper. Huh?
What are you?
I'm just an Israelite.
We're Israelites.
We Israelites. No, I'm not a mediator. I didn't die I wasn't wounded in the stripes for the transgressions of my people. I'm not Yahweh Shai.
So, like, personally, Jesus died for a cause.
No, he died to fulfill the prophecies and to be go ahead, King. Bring it out.
This is Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
It says, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions.
He was what?
He was wounded for our transgressions.
Uh-huh.
He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed.
So he was wounded for our transgression, us being the children of Israel. Go ahead, what you got, King? No, I ain't got the mic. Go ahead.
But if Jesus was God.
No, wait, Jesus wasn't God.
No. I'm making a point.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going by the Christian doctrine.
Oh, praise. Okay, go
If
ahead,
Jesus
King.
was God, who was he praying to in the Garden of Gethsemane?
Sure indeed.
Okay, it's the Trinity. God the Father. How can God be three people? There's only one God, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. W-H-Y-H. How do you want to spell it?
No, it's only one A, one name, Yahweh. Because we got to go back to the Paleo Hebrew. Yahweh.
The Torah, Genesis, Deuteronomy.
That's
Oh,
what
praise.
anything.
That's
That's
all.
real
I-
life.
I-
I don't want to talk
Hey,
to
no,
the
you-
real
you-
nigga.
you-
I want to talk to the boss. You
Go
know
ahead,
what I'm
Shakur.
saying? Me personally, I want to talk to the boss.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to talk to no middleman.
But
Push
here's
him
the
to the
problem.
side.
We don't need a
I like
mediator
the
to talk to
sword.
God. We don't need a mediator
Even
to
if
talk
I
to
got,
God.
even if
You
I
said,
got to
you
get
know,
on
the
my
scriptures,
knees and talk to
scripture
you
said
like
there's
this.
only one mediator.
King, the
Even if I
boss
got,
said
it's
that you have to go
social
through the
mission. You
mediator.
feel what I'm saying?
King, let me ask you this though. King,
Moses
we
the
are,
mediator.
hold on.
Moses the
King,
mediator.
he not. He don't say that in scripture. So King, look, let me get that 5 and 31, 5 and 29, the Acts. God. Because we got to do this. We ought to obey God rather than man, right?
We will,
We ought to obey God, the Most High Yahweh, rather than man, right?
for sure. But
So the Most High says that we got to have a meeting. It's like this. Let's say you own your business, right? You own your business. You put me in charge to run the business.
that's like me being your baby.
Hold on, no, peep this though, King. You own the business. You put me in charge though to run the business, right? I hire King right here. He trying to go around me to go to you, and you like, hold on, I put him in place. So you got to go through him, and he like, no, he a man just like I'm a man. No, there's positions in the kingdom. There's a hierarchy. There's order. Let me get that 1 Corinthians 14 and 42.
That's even in so-called crime organizations. You know what I'm saying? Like you were trying to allude to, right? Even if you wanted to go to the plug, sometimes the plug don't want you to go to him. That's why he set up people underneath him so you can get to him. So if you're gonna use that, like you should use, you see what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing.
So he don't get in trouble. Or what?
No, because that's the word. Hold on, because that's
why
the.
am I hiding?
That's just the
in
hierarchy,
the most
brother.
powerful
Let me answer
thing
for you.
out here. I created you, created you.
Nah,
Let me answer
the point
for
is
you.
he's so powerful he doesn't get off the
Exactly.
throne.
That's
He sends a
that's
messenger.
his order. That's what he set in place. That's why he's doing it. He ain't hiding. He can do it if he wants to. And he
That's
did
what
it
he said.
to the Israelites in the wilderness with Moses when he gave us the 10 Commandments. He gave us the first 10. There's 613 commandments.
Hey, but God has agape love. Yahweh has agape
He
love.
showed up to
come get this
God
fire,
in the burning
King.
bush.
Get my
though.
fire, get
God
his number.
showed up to him in the burning
My
bush.
number.
See, that's what you gotta get to understand.
It's agape love,
It's actually
unconditional
the,
love.
The angel of the Lord that showed up to him in that bush. In that
Who was
burning
the angel
bush.
of the Lord?
The angel of the Lord was Christ. And I can prove that to you. You see that, brother?
Right.
So he's always been that mediator, brother.
And God said, let us make man in our image.
In our image. So
Our
he was,
image.
He was speaking about in him and Yahweh Shai's image. All praise.
So why do they say?
Hold on 1 second, King. We want to bring out these precepts to back it up. You follow what I'm saying? Then we're going to go to the next one.
Don't get from this tree.
No. Hold that, King. Hold that. You, hey, all praise to the Most High. King answering some beautiful questions, right?
Right.
All praise to the Most High. And Lord willing, we'll be edifying and bring understanding through the precepts, right? Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 29.
Bring it up.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We ought to do what?
We ought to obey God rather than men.
Now lean to our own understanding.
We ought to obey God rather than
Now
men.
do what the hell we want.
We ought to obey God rather than men.
Read on.
The God of our fathers raised up Jesus.
Raised up who?
Raised up Jesus.
What's his name in the Hebrew?
Raised up
Uh-huh.
Yahweh, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
Okay.
Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior.
No, he exalted himself.
He exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior,
Uh-huh.
or to give repentance to Israel,
To give repentance to who?
forgive repentance to Israel,
Uh-huh.
and forgiveness of sins.
You see that?
Okay, I said, can I
So
say
the
one more?
Most High
Can I
exalted
say one more
Yahweh
thing?
Shai with his right
Hey,
hand
bro,
to be
King,
a prince.
King,
1 second, King. 1 second.
There's a difference between Jews and Jewish.
All praise.
There's a
All-
difference.
All
You
praise.
got Jewish, you got more. Hey, his shirt kind of is reddish,
All
but
praise.
it's not red.
All praises.
But you got Jews.
All praises.
Jews are the real,
All,
real
and,
black
and who are those Jews?
niggas.
All praise, man. All praise. Brother got a zeal. The brother got a zeal.
God.
Hey, King, elder. Hey, you an Israelite. Your father's so-called black man? You an Israelite. You got to repent, keep the commandments, King.
God's chosen.
Go ahead. Bring this
Book of
out.
John chapter 10 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved,
Uh-huh.
and shall go in and out and find pasture.
And do what?
And find pasture.
Uh-huh.
The thief cometh but not for to steal and to kill and destroy. I am come that they might have life,
That they might die.
that they might have life,
Uh-huh.
and that they might have it more abundantly.
More what?
More abundantly.
See that? Yahweh Shai, and you got to think about this. It's been prophesied and determined before time was even time.
That's right. Two people you just said.
Uh-huh.
What was their name?
Yahweh Shai
No, y'all
and
said-
Yahweh.
Y'all said Peter and who?
Peter and the other apostles.
Oh, Peter and the other apostles. You know, the 12 apostles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they said we ought to obey God rather than man.